Let's go to page 91 in your grammar books. 91. All right, we are talking about coordinating conjunctions. You guys already know about those. That's the fanboys words. And you already know those, I'm pretty sure. Does anybody want to tell me what fanboys stands for? Do you remember what those words are? Remember, Grayson, go ahead and give it a shot. What do you think?
For and nor, but um or yet so.
Good. I have to do the same thing. I have to like picture the letters in my head. Do you know those words, Harmony? Fanboys? You remember those?
Hmm,
What are they?
read it. What is it? For and nor, but or yet so.
Good. That's right. And you did see them right there. They're listed right there. And those words are good to memorize. That way you can think of those words as you're looking for them in the book. But here's two examples of what we already know about fanboys. They connect the same types of words in a sentence. So this example here, Robin was kind, funny, and brave. So this is showing three adjectives that describe Robin. And notice the commas because there's three. If there's only two, you don't need a comma, but you do if there's three listed like this. So the next example is Robin was kind and funny. This one only has two, so we don't need commas here. But that conjunction, that coordinating conjunction, is and in both of those sentences, and that is the A in fanboys. So we already know about this. This part down here is new. This is what we're going to learn that's new. Here comes Zach in. It says you're going to learn two more comma rules and compare these sentences. So the first one here says, the stranger waited and whistled a tune. In this sentence, the coordinating conjunction and connects two verbs, waited and whistled. No comma is used. This is the same pattern as A and B, like up here. Robin was kind and funny. Same pattern when A and B are verbs. But I want you to peek over here in the margin. Hi, Zach. We're on page 91. Okay. This is the other pattern that we're going to look for today. MC stands for main clause. CC stands for coordinating conjunction. That's the fanboys word. And then second verb. So if I'm looking at this, the stranger waited is a main clause because it has the subject stranger and the verb waited. That is a main clause. Then we have the conjunction and then another verb or a second verb. But there's no subject on this side of the coordinating conjunction. But look at this one. This one does have a subject on the other side of it. So it says, the stranger waited and Robin whistled a tune. So in this sentence, the coordinating conjunction and connects two main clauses. Stranger waited and Robin whistled. One comma is used, and it's right here before the coordinating conjunction. In the margin, here's the pattern. MC is main clause, comma, CC is coordinating conjunction, that's fanboys, and then another MC. And the reason why this is another main clause is because we have a subject here, Robin. So we have stranger waited and Robin whistled. Those are two main clauses with a coordinating conjunction in the middle. And that's when you need a comma. So we're going to jump down here now to the comma rule. It's talking about the same thing, when to use a comma and when not to use a comma. So right here it says, do not use a comma. The comma is crossed out here. Before a coordinating conjunction when it connects two verbs. And here's the pattern. MC, CC, second verb, which is main clause, coordinating conjunction, second verb. So there's no subject on the other side of that coordinating conjunction. But you do need a comma use a comma before a coordinating conjunction when it connects two main clauses, like this pattern, MC, comma, CC, MC. These are patterns, and they're the same ones we just talked about up here. So what you're going to do is write CC above each coordinating conjunction. That's pretty easy. Those fanboy words, you're going to look for those, put CC. And then you're either going to remove a comma before a CC that connects to verbs or add a comma before a CC connects to main clauses. And here's those two examples down here. The first one says, Robin agreed to spar and made a staff. So, by the way, the word spar means to fight. So Robin agreed to spar and made a staff. Robin agreed, that's the subject verb here. So that's a main part of the main clause. But after the coordinating conjunction, there's not another subject here. It's just a verb and then more words after that. So this whole thing becomes a main clause. And you don't need a comma for this. So they took that out, that little squiggly line. And then the second example down here, Robin agreed to spar. We have Robin agreed. This is a main clause. And coordinating conjunction, he made a staff. So he is subject verb he made. So those are the two types of sentences you're going to look for. If you go to page 92, we're going to practice a bunch of them like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is have you guys take turns reading these sentences. And under each sentence, you're going to see two choices here. There's MC, CC, second verb, or MC, comma, CC, MC. So this means main clause, coordinating conjunction, second verb. That means there's no subject on the other side of the coordinating conjunction. This one is main clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, main clause, which does require a subject. So what you're going to look for is there a subject on the other side of the coordinating conjunction? So I'm going to do the first one so you can see how we're going to do this. It says, Robin accepted the challenge and collected his arrows. The first step is to find that coordinating conjunction, and I see it right here. Go ahead and label that CC for and. And on this side of and, I see Robin accepted. That's the subject verb pair here, Robin accepted. On this side, I just see collected his arrows. Collected is the verb, but there's no subject over here. So what we have is one main clause here, and that's just the second verb. Sorry, hold on. I think the main clause, the end of the main clause goes here actually, like that. So the whole thing is one main clause. So it says main clause, CC, second verb. So if you have a subject verb here, that's part of the main clause, CC, and we just have a second verb, there's no subject on this side. So it's going to be this option. Circle that. And that one does not require a comma. So Grayson, I'm going to have you do the next one. Go ahead and read the sentence first.
Robin accepted the challenge and he collected his arrows.
Good. Where's the CC?
And
Good. Where's the subject verb in the beginning?
Robin accepted.
Good. Subject, verb. And now look at after that. Do you see another subject verb pair?
No.
So I see the verb
Oh, yeah, right.
collected.
Collected.
And then right before that, we have
He.
that's going to be your subject. So this one is two separate main clauses because we have two separate subject verb pairs. You see how that works there? So there's two separate subject verb pairs. So which choice down below, which one should we circle? The first one or the second one?
The second one.
Yes, the second one. But notice it requires a comma, and it's going to go right before the fanboys word. So where does it go?
Challenged by challenge.
Right by, yeah, between challenged and, go ahead and squeeze a comma in there. So that's your clue. When you have two main clauses like that, you do need a comma between. So Zach, go ahead and read the next one, and then I'll have Harmony read the one after that.
All spilled over the cliff and it created a whirlpool.
Okay, so what's the coordinating conjunction?
And
Good. Subject verb pair over here. The verb is spilled.
everything froze for a second, so I did not know what you said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Might be me. What's the subject over here on
Alright,
this side?
well, the subject verb in the first one is waterfall spilled.
Good. Okay. And then what about after and?
It created.
Yes. So subject is it. Created. Yep.
So that'd be MC, CC, MC.
Good. Yes. And I'm going to put in those brackets just so we can see it. And where does that comma go?
A comma right after and.
Actually, right before and. It goes right before the CC right here. MC, comma, CC. Okay. So between cliff and, that's where the comma goes. Good, Zach. Okay, Harmony, what about the next one? Go ahead and read it first.
Read it.
Little John released the arrow, but surprisingly missed the target.
Okay, you jumped down here, but that's okay. We'll do that one next, right here. So, where is the coordinating conjunction? Where's the CC go?
Surprise,
What's the word?
MC.
What's the word though? What's the
But.
fanboy? Tell her.
But, oh yeah, I heard it. Okay, but, good. And then let's look for the subject verb pairs. Where are the subject verb pairs before that?
What's the verb?
Released.
Good.
Who's
And
this? What's his
Little
name?
John.
Little John. Good. So I'm just going to put an S there. And what about after but?
On
Do
the
you
other
see?
side. What's the verb?
Missed.
Missed. Good. But do you see a subject by missed? Nope, you don't. That's right. So what pattern is it? Is it the first one or the second one here?
The first one.
The first one. Very good. And so we don't need a comma. We can just leave that. No comma. All right, let's jump back up to this one, Grayson, right before that.
The coordinated conjunction is and.
Okay.
Waterfall spilled.
Okay.
And that's it. And then we just do the brackets because there's no subject.
No subject, just created. That would be your verb. So which pattern does it follow?
MC or the first one.
The first one. Okay, good. Yep, you got it. And no comma there. Okay, back to you, Zach, on this one.
Little, wait, that's the one that he just did. Little John
Go
used
ahead.
the arrow, but he missed the target.
Good. CC?
But.
Good. Subject verb?
John released.
Good. Yep.
Um,
This side.
he missed.
Good. What
So
pattern?
MC, CC, MC.
Good. Okay, so where does the comma go?
Right before but.
Very good. Okay, cool. So these are two main clauses. I'm put brackets in here too. Okay. And then harmony, what about this one?
Robin was an outlaw, so he could not return home.
Okay, where does the CC go?
Where's the coordinating conjunction? It's the word.
So.
Good. And then on this side at the beginning, where's the subject verb pair?
Where's the verb?
Was is a verb. Good. The subject.
The subject, tell her.
Robin.
Good. And then how about after so?
Where's your verb?
Return.
Good. And could is also a verb, so we'll mark that one too. And then is there a subject there?
No. No comma.
So he is the subject here. You see he? That's going to be the subject. So he could and return. See that?
Nice.
So what pattern is that?
Which one? It's which one? The first or the second?
The second.
The second. Very good. And then where should I put the comma?
Where does your comma come? Right after what word?
Outlaw.
Good. Awesome. And then I'm just going to put in those brackets because it's two main clauses here. Good job. And then the last one, Grayson.
Coordinated conjunction is and.
Okay.
Robin was.
Good.
Verb could return.
Yep. There's two verbs over here. So what pattern is that?
First.
Very good. Yep. Because we don't have a subject on the other side. So that's what you're looking for. Good job, you guys. Let's go to the practice page on 93. And does anybody feel like reading this morning? Anybody feel like reading it? Thank you, Grayson. I saw you waiting in case anybody else wanted to, but I appreciate that you read it. Go for it.
I welcome you to try, countered the stranger with a twinkle in his eye. I'm happy to wait.
Okay, good. So we got a little drama going on in our story, but there's some speaking parts here. That's why it was a little hard to read at first, but let's just look at the vocabulary as countered. So whenever there's an argument between two people, it's like one person thinks one way and the other person is countering that. It means they think the opposite of that. So he's countering, he's basically arguing in opposition of whatever is going on here. So let's check vocabulary word. And then I think it would be easier if we got the quotation marks in here next. So Zach, where are the speaking parts? Where should we put those quotation marks?
Saying, I
I
welcome you to
welcome
try.
you to try.
Oh, okay, Harmony.
Welcome you to try. That's what they say. Oh,
You're unmuted, Harmony. I wasn't sure if do you want to do that part?
I welcome you to try.
Good. And then what else do they say? There's one more quote in here. Sorry, Zach, we'll come back to you.
I'm happy to wait.
Yes, there. Okay, so that helps. We got our quotation marks in there. We can tell who's talking now, the speaking parts. All right, go ahead and find the articles by yourself. We're going to go down this list next here. So go ahead and find those. And Zach, how about the nouns next?
I think that would be I in the beginning.
Right here, I welcome.
Yeah.
This is actually going to be a pronoun. So
All right.
that's not going to be a noun.
Stranger.
Stranger is a noun, yes.
It won't be I'm, right?
Not I'm, but I know it sounds the same, but EYE is like your eyeball. So that would be
That's what I was gonna say next.
okay, yeah. And then there's one more, and it's right here after the article A.
Twinkle.
Yeah, so that's a tricky one because sometimes twinkle could be a verb. If you're talking about the stars and how they twinkle, that's a verb. But because of this A here, a twinkle, that tells us it's going to be a noun. So whenever you see that article, you know that a noun is coming soon. So a twinkle. Very good. Okay. And then pronouns, Harmony, where are the pronouns at?
Say it.
I,
Good. That one.
Do you know what that is? That another pronoun?
his,
That is a good guess, but this is actually going to be an adjective because it's telling whose eye it is. So there's another pronoun in there, a couple more. It's kind of tricky.
you,
Yes, there you go. There's one, and then there's one more.
I,
There you go. The I right here in I'm, that's a pronoun. Let's stick an apostrophe in there because it almost looks like it says im, but it's I'm, you're right. So we're going to put the apostrophe in there. We can check that off and check the pronouns off. The other thing I want to do before we go too much further is fix this word too. So Grayson, this one is a homophone. We need to fix that. So how should we spell two?
T-O.
T-O, very good. And just a reminder, we've talked about infinitives before, but when you see to next to a verb like try, to try, or to wait, they're not functioning as verbs anymore. They're functioning as an infinitive. That's what they're called. So we're not going to mark try and wait as verbs because of the word to next to it. So to try and to wait, those are called infinitives and we don't have to mark those. So we're going to leave those alone. Um, but Grayson, go ahead and help us find the adjectives next.
Countered.
That's actually going to be a verb. So think of words that describe, like whose eye it is.
His.
His, that's one adjective. And then there's a word that describes a feeling.
Welcome. Or no. Happy.
There you go. Happy is describing I, which is the pronoun. So those are the two adjectives there. Now let's skip down to the subject verb pairs because that's easier than to help us find the other things. So Zach, how about verbs? Let's look for those. Don't say to try or to wait. Those are infinitives, so we're gonna leave those alone. So what else do you see?
Or no, not verbs, right? So countered,
Countered, yes, is a verb.
welcome,
Yes, welcome.
mm,
There's one more.
and
It's kind of hidden,
try,
that clue.
try.
No, because of to, that's not going to be a verb.
Mm,
It's part of the contraction at the end here.
wait.
It's going to be the M in I'm
Oh,
because that's I am, and am is a linking verb. Remember that? That was tricky because it's kind of hidden there. So I is the pronoun, but then am is the verb because it represents am. So we don't want to mark wait or try. Normally those would be verbs, but since there's that word to next to it, to wait and to try, those are infinitives and they're not functioning as verbs here. So, oh, we need subjects. So Harmony, where are the subjects that go with those verbs?
Say them.
subject,
What are the
Or
subjects?
I,
I, good. And then who was it that countered?
stranger,
Oh, say it. She can tell me this now.
a stranger,
Oh, stranger. That's right. Stranger is the subject. And then there's one more at the end here. What other subject?
I,
Good. The I and I'm. That word I'm is doing a lot. It's a pronoun, it's a subject, and it's a verb all at once. Such a tiny word. It's hard to squeeze it all in there, but very good. Okay, now we can see where those prepositional phrases are, Grayson. So
Try countered.
no, not,
No.
we're going to ignore to try and to wait.
With a twinkle in his eye.
Yes, with a twinkle is one.
In his eye.
There you go, in his eye. With a twinkle and in his eye. So we're going to ignore to try and to wait because those are infinitives. Good. And then the prepositional phrases, Zach, that's going to contain a subject-verb pair. And there's 3 of them in here.
What?
You're doing the subject, you're doing the main clauses. So you're going to look for groups of words that contain subject and verb together. And it's a complete thought.
I welcome you to try.
Good. I welcome you to try as one.
Is countered the stranger one?
Yes, and it's going to go all the way to the word I here. So countered the stranger with a twinkle in his eye. It's going to include those 2 prepositional phrases. That's a complete thought. And then where's the last one?
And the last one, I'm happy to wait.
Good. I'm happy to wait. Next column is fix it. The first one is indent. So we're just going to put a paragraph symbol right here at the beginning, which is like a backwards P shape. Capitals, you can find those by yourself, 3 little lines. All right, we have a comma rule. And Harmony, it has to do with the quotation mark and the attribution. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but where does the comma go?
Where does the comma go? After what? Oh,
Try.
Good, yes. So whenever you have like a speaking part like this where they're talking, it's a quote. The comma goes after that and then the attribution. Remember, we talked about that a few weeks ago. So who's saying it and how they're saying it. Very good. That's the comma. End mark is a period. And by the way, when you guys write this, like where the comma goes to try, comma, quote. And then at the end to wait, period, quote. So the punctuation always goes on the inside of the quotation mark. I just wanted to show you that so that when you write it down here later, don't put the period on the outside, put it on the inside of the quotation mark. And we got the end mark and the homophone was 2. We already got that. Awesome. Okay. So remember, if you get stuck on anything on your list, it's okay to move around. You can even check in the back of your or in your book for things like prepositions or subject verb pairs, if that helps you. And then make sure you read your sentence out loud first before you get into your list. That's because sometimes words change their function. And if you read it in context, that will help you a lot. So make sure you read your sentence first. Okie doke. We're done with grammar. You can close that up for now, put it aside, and go ahead and get out your binders. We are finished with the drone story. That was pretty fun. I sometimes have a hard time writing creative stories, but does anybody want to share their drone story? You can read it to the class today if you'd like. Anybody feel like reading their story that you wrote about the drone? Maybe not. You don't have to. It's okay. Well, maybe the next one you'll want to read next week. So that's okay if you don't want to share it. We are done with that one though. So that was week 10. So before you put it all away though, you're going to put the yellow page from drone. Let me show you. Behind model charts and outlines. That yellow page, page 91. So make sure you put this, oops, you can't see me. Let me share my screen here. This yellow page right here can go behind the tab that says model charts and outlines. Keep it back there. And then the other one, the tan page, that one's going to go behind the banned words tab. You have one that's called banned words. There should be a blue page there, but this tan page needs to go behind banned words, that tab. And then everything else about drone can go away in your finished binder or folder, wherever you're keeping your finished stuff can go away because we're done with it for now. And then you need to get out the next lesson, which is week 11, and it's called Bora Bora or Dog and Table. And it's going to start on page 99. This is week 11, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 pages. You don't need an extra lined paper today. We're just going to use the pages from the binder. So go ahead and get out those 4 pages for week 11. While you guys are getting all that ready, I need to talk to you really quick about your banned words, because this kind of assignment, when you're like free writing, it's kind of, you're getting creative, you're coming up with characters and plots and all that. It's really hard to remember those banned words, and I'm finding a lot of them in your writing. So make sure that when you're done writing your story, you go back and look. Did I use eat, ate, or seesaw, or say, said? Check for that. And at the end of class, I'm going to show you, if you use Google Classroom or you use Google Docs to type your paper, there's a way to search for those words to see if you accidentally used them. And I'll show you that at the end of class, but watch out for those banned words. This is tricky when you're kind of having a free write here. Okay. Let's go to the first one, which is Bora Bora. And you're going to notice in this set of papers that you just now took out of your binder, there's 2 different sets of pictures. And you can look, kind of just look at both of them, see what they look like. These are 2 separate stories. And for your homework this week, you're going to get to decide which one you want to write about. You can pick this one about Bora Bora or this one about dog and table. You get a choice this week. But today we're going to talk about both of them in class. And then as you're thinking, if you think of ideas that you like better for one or the other, you can pick which one you want to write about, okay? Okay. Kind of like what we did with the drone, same type of thing. We're going to start by talking about how we think and how we plan for a story. So I know we talked about this last week. When you use your brain to think about something, you're asking yourself questions. It happens naturally. But even if you're looking at maybe something online, or maybe you hear something on the news, it's good to ask yourself questions like, why is the guy saying that? And what does that mean? And how does he know that's real? And where did he get his information? So anytime you're presented with something and you automatically, your brain cycles through those questions, it's cool. And our brain is so complex, it happens naturally. Like I think last week we talked about, maybe you might be feeling a little bit hungry right now, and maybe you feel your stomach kind of gurgling like, ooh, it's hungry, or you're hungry. And you start thinking, what am I going to have for lunch? When is this class done? And where is the pizza that we had last night? I mean, you might be thinking in your head these questions. That's how your brain thinks. And so what we're doing when we write stories from pictures is we are exercising that part of our brain that asks questions and thinks. So what we're doing is exercising our thinking, okay? So to help us, we need to write out these question words at the top of our page because this is going to help us come up with a plot. And the first set of questions is the big six. Who knows what the big six question words are at the beginning of a question sentence? You guys remember what those are? What's the first word of a sentence that asks a question? There's six of them.
Where?
Okay, where is one? Good. What
Ooh.
else?
And what else?
Who?
Who? Good. Another good one. You can just unmute and say it if you think of one.
When?
Good.
How?
Good. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's two more. It's another two more W words.
Why?
Why? And one more W word.
What?
There you go. What? Where, who, when, how, why, what. I usually memorize it in a certain order, like who, what, when, where, why, and how is how I memorize it. But it doesn't matter what order it is, as long as you have six of them, which we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also have some extra questions that we use to help us with these stories. And they are before and after and the word outside question mark. So I'm just going to add those three on there also. Now, that word outside, don't think of outdoors. That word outside just means what could be happening on the outside of the frame of the picture. Like maybe this kid is on a field trip with his class, and maybe all the students are over here. We just don't see them in the picture. Okay. So you could ask yourself what could be on the outside of the frame of the picture. That can help you come up with a plot. Now, this is like creative writing, and you're writing a narrative, is what you're working on. So everybody's story is going to be a little bit different. There are some things that are going to be the same, but you get to create your own plot with using these pictures. And using these question words at the top is going to help you a lot. But let's start by just looking at these three pictures here. And remember, each paragraph, each Roman numeral has central fact next to it. Right here, central fact, and there's Roman numeral 2, central fact, Roman numeral 3, central fact. Who remembers what the central fact is? How do we know how to find the central fact? Grayson, remember?
Isn't it the key words?
It does have keywords, but it's really what's literally happening in the picture. That's the central fact. So we're going to look at the picture and what do we see literally in the picture? That's the central fact. And then here, 1 through 5, those are going to be where you answer these questions and you create a plot. Okay. So let's look at, since there's 3 of you in class, I'm going to have each of you look at a picture and describe it. So I'll have Harmony look at the first picture, Grayson, you'll look at the second one, and Zach, you'll look at the third one. So we'll start with Harmony here. What do you see literally inside this picture right here? What's happening in that picture? We're looking at the very first one. So what do you see here in this first picture?
The girl was reading Bora Bora.
Okay, good. A book about Bora Bora?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, and it could be a girl or a boy. It's hard to tell, but you guys can make it whatever you want for your story. You're right, though. And you said girl, so she's looking at a big, giant book. It looks so big. It's like bigger than her. It's like a giant book. And Bora Bora looks to me like it's a place. I know it's a place. It's an island. And you can tell by looking at this picture on this side of the book, it looks like there's huts and water and clouds and maybe even a volcano in the background there. So I know this is a tropical island called Bora Bora. And this side of the book has words. It's probably talking about the island of Bora Bora. So if you want this person to be a girl, think of a girl name that you like. If you want this person to be a boy, think of a boy name that you like. And you're going to put the name here. And then I like your idea of talking about how it's a book about, and we're going to put Bora. Bora. By the way, Bora Bora is the name. Even though it's two words in the name, we're going to count it as one on our keyword outline because it's the name of the island. So this spot here is for a name. So you can make it up any name you want. This is where you get to be a little creative. And if you can't think of a name right now, you can leave it blank and think of something later. Sometimes it's funny. I'll plan out a story and then I won't write it yet, but I'll plan it out in my head. And then maybe a couple days later, I'll be doing the dishes or something. And then it's like, oh, I know a better story. And then so I just abandon my notes from my first story. And then I go and rewrite it or use my different ideas to write it. So you can change your mind. It's okay. Okay, so that's the central fact here. Let's jump down to this one, Grayson. What is the central fact in this picture?
Looks like she's looking at a picture of the island.
Good. She's looking at a giant picture of the island, and maybe she's at a museum or she's at an art gallery. We don't really know where she is now. Maybe she's still at the library. Maybe there's a whole room about Bora Bora. So we've got whatever the name is of that character, and she's looking at, I don't know, I'm just going to say giant painting, but you guys can put whatever you want to put here about the central fact. Maybe I'll put some eyeballs in here too. She's looking at a giant painting. We're just grabbing those central facts first, and then we're going to go back and start brainstorming. What kind of a plot can we have? So Zach, what about the last one? What is happening there?
Whatever her name is, donating to Bora Bora.
Oh, donating. Yeah. Maybe she's donating. Maybe there's a problem there. Maybe they have an issue and she's donating to help people in Bora Bora. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet. Anybody else have any ideas of what she's doing here? I wonder if she's saving up for a trip to Bora Bora. Maybe she wants to go there.
Sure.
You can make it up. But whatever her name is, she's saving money. Did you say to give to Bora Bora?
It could be either or.
Yeah.
Saving money to give to Bora Bora, going to Bora Bora.
Okay, so you guys can decide, is she giving money or is she saving money to go there? She looks sad, so I'm thinking she doesn't have very much money. So I don't know if you've ever been a long ways away from home, like you have to take an airplane there, but airplane tickets are kind of expensive, especially if you go out of the country, because Bora Bora is not part of the United States. So it's probably going to be like maybe several $100s, maybe $300 or $400 or $500 to fly there. So she's a long ways away from that. She's only got some coins in there. So you might be thinking, how can I make more money? Maybe if I go mow the lawn, or I mow everybody's lawn in the whole neighborhood, maybe she can make money that way faster. Maybe she's thinking about that. All right, so this is where you can cycle through these question words to come up with a plot. You already picked a name for her. We already know what she's doing. But one question jumping back up to this first picture, and you guys can just raise your hand if you think of anything for this part. But where, that's one of our question words. Where is she in this picture? Anybody want to give an idea? It's whatever you think, you can make this up. But where do you think she is, Grayson?
She could be at home.
Okay. Okay, if she's at home, where did she get the book?
Library. Maybe
Like
she's at the library.
maybe she's at the library. Okay. Any other ideas of where she is? So here for number one, we can put library. Um, and maybe she's at the library, that's where she is. Who is she with? Is she just with her mom or her dad, or maybe the school, a teacher, maybe on a field trip? What do you guys think? Who's with her? I know there's
Her,
nobody in the picture, but
her mom.
her mom. Okay, what do you think, Harmony? Who's with her there at the library or wherever she is in your story?
She with your parents?
Her parents, okay. So you can put mom or parents. And maybe we put the word read or reading. Maybe the parents are reading it with her, or maybe she's reading by herself. This is where you get to get creative. This is kind of hard for some people. Honestly, it's hard for me. But I have a feeling you guys are going to have a good time with this because you are all more on the creative side than I am. Like Harmony's always showing her pictures that she's drawing and painting and using chalk, and I don't know how to do that stuff. My brain is more mathematical, logical, methodical, scientific. This stuff is hard for me. But maybe you'll have an easier time than me and you can just think of situations. Do you think that she's still at the library on this one, or do you think she's somewhere else here? What do you guys think? Grayson, what do you think?
Maybe at an art museum.
Yeah, okay. Maybe at an art museum. Maybe her parents are taking her to different places in the town and the city that she lives in. So she went to the library and now she's at an art museum. What do you think, Zach? Where do you think she's here? Is where do you think she is?
I guess she could be at like an art museum or something. Maybe
Yeah.
she's still at the library, and there's just a separate section for Bora Bora.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Harmony? I saw your hand go up there.
Museum.
The museum. Okay. Art museum, Mary. You guys put what you want to put. You don't have to copy me, okay? You put what you want to put. Art museum, and you can think of another word here. So we have the,
Art show.
oh, say that again, Harmony.
Art show.
Oh, an art show. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one. That's cool. So we talked about where. How about in this one of the words we could use for our questions is what is he feeling here? If you look at his face, he's got his head on his hand like that. What do you guys think he's feeling here or thinking? What is he thinking? Grayson, what do you think?
I had an idea, like maybe it's at an art show and he's trying to buy it. Maybe he likes it and he wants to buy it and he's sad that he can't, so he's trying to save up for it.
Ah, I like that. Yes, that's a good one. Maybe it's a show like a where they sell the art, and you probably know they do sell art for a lot. So yeah, that could be it. He's trying to save for it. Anybody else have any different ideas of how he's feeling here and what he's saving his money for? I know we talked about giving it.
Vacation.
Oh, vacation. Yes. He could be wanting to go on a vacation. Maybe he wants to surprise his whole family with tickets to go to Bora Bora. So he has a lot to sell or a lot of money to collect. Okay, so you guys get the idea. I'm not going to fill in this whole thing during class. I'm just giving you kind of practicing with you how to use these questions at the top. Remember, before and after just means what happened before this. Maybe she had a dream about going to an island, or maybe she saw a movie and they were in Bora Bora in the movie that she saw, and then she was like, "Ooh, how do I get there? Where is it at?" And maybe she wanted to find out more and they took her to the library. So you can use these question words to think of a plot. Now, I'm just going to remind you, if it helps you to write down your ideas here, then I want you to use this. But if it's easier for you to just sit down at the computer and start typing your story, I'm okay with that. You don't have to use, this is the only assignment with the pictures that you don't have to use your keyword outline. So you can decide if it helps you to put down some notes here to help you get your ideas going, go ahead and use this. But if it's easier for you to just sit down and start typing, I'm okay with that too. Just make sure that this first picture is only for paragraph 1. You only use this picture for paragraph 1. Only use this picture for paragraph 2. Only use this picture for paragraph 3. That's the rule you have to remember, is each picture is a whole paragraph. So let's look at the next page here, just in case you like this idea better, because remember, you get to choose which set of pictures you want to write about. Let's just talk about it. You remember, central fact is what's literally in the picture. So I'm going to start with Zach this time, and then Grayson, and then Harmony for the last one. So Zach, what do you see as a central fact of that picture? What's literally in the picture?
Food and a dog.
Food and a dog. Okay, where is the dog in the picture?
Underneath the table.
Underneath the table. I agree, there's a bunch of food on the table. What kind of a meal does that look like to you?
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, it looks like Thanksgiving to me, but it could be Christmas, it could be Easter, it could be just a feast. Maybe somebody got married, or maybe it could be any kind of a celebration that you can think of. And the only other thing I see in the picture is this right here. So the clock, right? And to me, if you know how to read those types of clocks, the analog clock, it looks like it's about 5:45, which would be kind of like dinner time, right? So I'm thinking it's dinner. Those are the types of words you can start with here for your central fact, like the dog. You can name the dog. It could be a boy dog, girl dog, it's up to you what kind of a feast it is, or just call it a feast. How about this one is for Grayson. What do you see in this picture? The central fact.
Maybe he's starting to smell the food.
Yeah,
His
but
nose
if you
up.
look closely at the food on the table,
Oh, it looks like the turkey's gone.
the turkey's gone. Yes. So somehow that little doggy, even though he looks innocent to me, he's just like, I'm just hanging out here. I didn't do anything.
Hey,
Maybe go ahead.
I'm just looking at. He went off on the food. Jeez,
Yeah,
hungry dog.
he pretty much ate almost everything there. Even some of the lemonade looks like it's gone. But it's cute how he's just like, do do do. I didn't do anything. Nobody saw anything. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. So, and notice the time is a little bit later. It's only just like 10 minutes later. So he was quick. How about Harmony? Look at the last one. What's the central fact here? Oops, you're muted. There you go.
Family gasp.
Ooh, gasp. I like that. All of them, all of their mouths are open. And I agree. And they look like they're looking, it's funny, it looks like they're posed for a picture. And maybe they're in the room across the way and they're doing a family picture before they go and eat because they're all kind of posed in their nice outfits together. Maybe they're doing a family picture and they look past the camera and they're like, oh no, I spent all day baking that turkey and making those mashed potatoes. And all right, so you guys know what to do. You can pick, you want to write about Bora Bora or the dog and the table. You can pick which story you want to write about. And then I know I'm a little bit late here, but look at the checklist for me really quick. It's the same as it was for the drone. So same dress ups, same topic clincher still there, but make sure you really pay attention to the banned words. It's hard with these types of stories. It's tempting to use these, so watch out for that. And I ran out of time to show you how to find those words, but basically just look for them after you type it and check. Did I use eat? Nope. Okay. Did I use said? Nope. Did I use saw? So check for those. All right, you guys, we're out of time. Good job. And I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye, you guys.